I was I was thinking back to your work in relation to the Spanish influenza. It's interesting to note the differences between that pandemic outbreak and this one, but that it was sort of a founder and a kind of a mother to all of the later pandemic outbreaks, particularly. You said it was antigenically similar to the 2009 H1N1 swine flu. And I wondered whether, not that I want to create anxiety about it, but whether COVID will sit as some sort of new founder for future smaller, perhaps pandemic outbreaks.
I doubt it very much. I mean, I think COVID, the problem with influenza is that you've got this segmented genome, you get reassortment, and it goes backwards and forwards very easily between pigs and people, for instance, very easily from chickens to people. We've had a number of these cases, the H5N1 bird flu, H7N9. A lot of people have died, but it hasn't changed to transmitted them. Some of the 1918 virus went across into pigs. Maybe it was in pigs first and then came to us, we don't know. But some of those genes that were in the 1918 virus, which were reconstructed a few years back by PCR, we didn't know what the virus was until that was done, but it was a bit of molecular archaeology, if you like. And so some of those genes have been sitting in pigs for decades. And they came out again in the 2009 swine flu. And the nuclear protein, for instance, is almost identical to the 1918 H1N1 flu. But the 2009 wasn't a particularly severe pandemic. In fact, people thought it shouldn't have even been called a pandemic. It was only called a pandemic because of the rules of WHO at that time. And there's other things that have changed since 1918. We can make flu vaccines. Might take us 6 months, but we can make them. We have flu antivirals, which if you use them early, are good. But the other major thing is that a lot of people in the 1918 experience died from secondary bacterial infections. So they can be treated with antibiotics. So I've never expected, it's always been possible, but I haven't thought we'd have anything quite as bad as 1918. Now this, of course, is a virgin soil pandemic. We've never seen the virus before. And we really, at this stage, don't quite know how bad it is. We know people are dying, a lot of old people are dying. It's very distressing to watch, but in terms of human numbers and what the eventual toll will be, we don't know. The question of background infection, we'll understand if the virus starts to turn down. If the epidemic suddenly starts to turn down in northern Italy or New York as they relax restrictions, we'll know there's a lot of herd immunity out there. That can be the only explanation. There's a lot of other people who've been infected we don't know about, and they're partly at least immune. So we'll have to see. Well, it's still early days. I mean, we've only been dealing with this for several months. And look how dramatic it has been so far.